Every advancement starts with a decision. Decisions define your directions. They are important points in your life leading you to either abundance or adversity. Let me give you a great quote from Napoleon Hill. He says, "Successful people make decisions quickly but change them very slowly. Unsuccessful people make decisions very slowly but change them often and quickly." So if you want to be successful, you need to master decision making. The world's most successful people share a common quality. They make decisions. Decision makers go to the top, but those who do not make decisions go to nowhere. Decisions or the lack of them are responsible for your winning or losing. People who have become proficient at making decisions without being influenced by the opinions of others and the outside world circumstances are the ones who experience a life of abundance, freedom, and excellence. Decisions affect all aspects of your life: your income, the health of your mind and body, the well-being of your family, your social life, your relationships, and so on. To become a master of decision making, you should practice making decisions with confidence. So you shouldn't make decisions and then worry about whether you are doing the right thing. It's not difficult to upskill yourself in this regard. With the proper information and sound disciplines, you can become a very proficient and effective decision maker. Just as a reminder, if you are enjoying the content so far, it would be a huge help if you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button right now, as it really helps to get our content out there. Moreover, if you know a friend, a colleague, or a relative who is interested in building a professional attitude, share this content with them, as these materials have a huge impact on people's lives. They will never forget your work. Decision making brings order to your mind, and naturally this order is reflected in your results. Bear in mind, we make decisions in secret, but the results are visible to the public. On the other hand, indecision sets up internal conflicts and resulting emotional wars inside you. This state is called ambivalence. Its meaning is the existence of opposite feelings toward the same objective at the same time. In ambivalence, you see back and forth, go, not go, do, not do, quit, stay, and so on. You feel worry and do not sense peace inside you. You know, our world is ever-changing. Everything moves, nothing rests. A fundamental law of the universe is to create or disintegrate. You can't be fixed. You are either creating or disintegrating. Disintegration means going backward. Indecision causes disintegration. You need to make a decision right now to stop experiencing ambivalence. A decision which puts you on the creation path. The cause of ambivalence is indecision, but it is a secondary cause. The primary cause is low self-esteem or a lack of confidence. When confident people make decisions, they are not afraid of making errors. When they see unwanted things in the way that most people call them failure, they have the ability to let them go and don't tie them to their identity. They learn from the experience and consciously make the required adaptations. Now you may ask, where should I start developing my decision-making skills? The first step is right now. You should plant a principle inside you that for each decision, there isn't a perfect date somewhere in the future. The perfect date is right now. You should start right where you are with whatever you have. How much time do you want to spend to plan a plan? This approach is just procrastination. It comes from a losing mentality. The decision-making work is essentially separate from how. The only prerequisite of making a decision is whether you really want something or not. If you make a definite decision, all the universe will accompany you to achieve your goal. So the only limit in front of you is yourself. You should develop an ability to make decisions without considering your circumstances, results, others' opinions, knowing the how part, and generally the outside world conditions. Why? Because if your wants come from your essence, they are genuine. They are connected with the universal mind, where all things have an intention to help you achieve your wants. There is always an inner voice telling you the right answer when you want to make a decision. You must trust it. These types of wants and trusting them are so powerful that can even affect the how part. Strong decision making puts you in a mental state where you are willing to walk before you see the way. Don't worry about how. When you start to walk on the way appears. But why do most people never master decision making? Because they allow their resources to dictate if and when a decision will or can be made. When John F. Kennedy asked Dr. Werner von Braun what it would take to build a rocket that would carry a man to the moon and return him safely to Earth, his answer was simple and direct: the will to do it. The president never asked if it was possible, if they could afford it, or any other limits, all of which would have been valid. The president already made a definite decision. He said, "We will put a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth before the end of the decade." He just purely wanted it. Do you see the power of this type of decision? Bear in mind, he decided where he was with what he had, somewhere in time where it had never been done before in human history. If you think of it deeply, you will see that no obstacle can survive long against definite decisions. So, why should you be worried about how, when making definite decisions have the power to resolve all the impediments, barriers, and obstacles in the way of implementing your decisions? One of the famous obstacles in the decision-making process is money. Many people say they don't have enough money right now, so they very easily postpone their decisions to the time that they get enough money. Let's pause a bit here. Do you know that your way of thinking defines your life results? If your thinking way is constructive and advancing, you will experience the life that you really want. Otherwise, you are in the trap of limiting yourself through ignorance and the lack of constructive thinking. In this situation, you are unconsciously allowing the outside world to dictate what you can have. How much have you invested in learning how to control your thinking and transform it into constructive thinking? If you haven't done it, be aware that you are now in the ignorance world. So when you want to make decisions, you easily consider your outside world conditions like money. The worst case is that you justify and accept it because you think that you checked it with your logic. Unfortunately, this is the biggest trap that you put yourself in, and you don't even know that you are in it. But you can afford anything that you need to achieve your goals. We have infinite potential. There is no end to where you can take yourself to. If you need money, you will find it in your way. There is an infinite supply of money. Your beingness defines how much money you can prepare. Imagine your child needs to have immediate surgery in a hospital. What is your way of decision making in that situation? Do you say, let me check my current resources to see if I have enough money to allow the doctor to start the surgery? Absolutely not. You will move mountains to find money, won't you? Why? Because the health of your child is something that comes from your essence as a parent. You just want it. It is already done. You decide in a second. You see, you are already able to make this type of decision. You just need to become aware of the process and repeat it in other cases of decisions, specifically those that are going to advance your life. If you need money, you will attract it. Don't worry about it. How often have you seen yourself saying, I'd like to do this or that, but I can't because... Keep in mind that whatever follows because is a circumstance. However, with your new awareness, you know that you shouldn't consider circumstances when you make decisions. The only thing that should be considered is whether you want it. But how do you become aware of if you truly want something or not? To answer this, you need to build your vision of your life. You can design your life with your imagination faculty. The future is a blank canvas on which you can draw your prosperous future. No one can limit you to achieving wonderful goals, only you. To go beyond yourself, you need to increase your awareness of how the world and your mind work and invest in your way of thinking to get control of the process of thinking and creation. Then, by having a vivid picture of your life vision, making a decision is a simple and easy job. You check a decision if it is in the direction of your vision or not. If yes, decide without considering your current circumstances. If no, let it go. As for the last part, you should know that most people live with their lower self, but there is a higher version of every single person inside them that can do 10 times better than their lower self. When you make a definite decision, you are waking up a perfect power living in your higher self. That perfection will take care of the responsibility of how. Don't worry about how. Your duty is to master your way of thinking and decision making. Hopefully, you have got a good understanding of decision making. Let me summarize my words into a couple of steps. First, success requires mastering decision making. Second, successful people make decisions with confidence. Third, elite decision making is quick decision making. Fourth, in the decision-making process, you just check whether you really want something, not how. Fifth, you don't allow your current circumstances and resources to dictate your decisions. Sixth, your crystal clear vision is the guideline for your decision. So build it as soon as possible. And finally, seventh, the best time to make a decision is right now. Your transformation regarding decision making starts right now. Be honest with yourself. What decisions have you had in your mind for a long time? Just think of them with your want lenses and make the decision to start moving to your bright future. Don't stay in a state of indecision. There is never any time better than the present. Be all that you are capable of being. And finally, be an elite decision maker.